Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is me, Chameleon Girl Gina. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my relaxer routine, and I decided to do a bonus to the video, which is my curly curl look. So if you guys want to see how I achieved this look as well as my relaxer routine, go ahead and stay tuned. So between the time it takes me to apply the relaxer and work it through, I don't like to have a relaxer in my head any more than 20 minutes total. And by the time I'm done putting it in, you'll see that my next step is to just basically a quick work through and get it rinsed out. So now, instead of me basing this part of my scalp with the petroleum jelly or Vaseline, I instead like to go ahead and use some oil sheen because I can move faster with it. And then if you get too much, and you just get that in the scalp really, really good. All the areas that you need it in, which is where your exposed skin is. And then all the parts. Yeah, so the reason why I like to use oil sheen over the petroleum jelly is because if you get petroleum jelly all in your hair, then it can almost be resistant to the relaxer, so then your relaxer is not real straight. So I will go ahead and tell you guys that I had already sprayed my scalp earlier, and so I'm just kind of demonstrating what I did by just doing that section. But yeah, so I went through and just sprayed a little, went through, sprayed a little, and so on. So at this time I'm going to go ahead and begin to get the relaxer in. Now, an important thing I would think to note is that when you put your relaxer in, you want to do a couple of things. One thing that you want to make sure to do is your weakest part of your hair, and I believe everybody has a weak part. My part that's pretty weak is right here in my crown, and also right here around the edge, just in this little circular area, and I can't think of what it's called, like a cowlick type thing. But anyway, those are my two weakest spots. Typically, what I like to do is this. Go ahead and get my relaxer on the brush, like this. I put it in, I get a little on one side and a little on the back side, as evenly as I can. Nothing perfect, but it's fine. And then what I always do is this, because I know that this is my weak spot in the crown, I go ahead and I just start going in, missing, and I'm trying to avoid putting it on the crown immediately. So then out and there, just a little bit. See, we're away. You see how far away I am from the hair? That relaxer, don't even worry about it. It's going to end up getting down there because it spreads out. So just try your best to, again, avoid your scalp. And I hope this all, kind of makes sense to you guys the way I'm explaining it. This is the best way that I can kind of think to explain it though. So that anywhere we're going to go in. And on this side, if you notice, I'm also doing that area. Well, that's because it's my last section, so I'm not like, oh man, I don't want the relaxer on yet. I'm not even tripping on that at all. So get in there and get that quickly parted off, up. And then go, go, go. A little bit lightly, very light. I'm barely touching it to my hair at this point when it comes to my edges. But over here, remember I kind of didn't go in there real good, so I'm going to get some on there for sure right now. And I have a couple of gray hairs pieces, so I have one right there and I think one somewhere on the side. So gray hair is always resistant. It's resistant to almost anything that you do. So you may have to work it through a little bit more or a little longer if you have a gray hair. I only have 2 pieces, but still, like, wow, where'd the years go? And fold that up, that piece, hold your ear down, get back behind your ear, point. And then just lightly apply. Now what I want to do is, again, I'm going to take a rat tail comb. And I'm going to show you guys how this looks like it's all mixed together, but it's really not. It still remains sectioned off because that is what we did intentionally. So we're just going to get that section and we're going to leave that to work it through last, because when you go to work through your hair, the first section you're going to work through is where you first put your relaxer in. Okay, so I'm going to go around the edges just a little bit more relaxer at this point. Then I'm going to go a little bit more around this side too. Now it is time for the work through. Okay, so anyway, I just like to slightly open it up like so, and then kind of smooth, 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 without scratching your scalp. Okay, now remember the relaxer was just in for about 1 inch, but it's beginning to spread. You leave it in too long, it's over processed. Now this is my next section right here that I did. This is just what I was doing in the back, but you guys can of course see better because this is the front. And the best direction to smooth it into is the direction that it grows in. So my hair follicles are coming like the way that I'm combing it. Don't comb against it because for some reason that just doesn't make it straighter at all. It just doesn't. So just take and then just, you don't need to go all, smooth into the ends unless you're doing a virgin relaxer. That's not what I'm doing today. So anyway, just gonna kind of get that part. Okay, so now y'all, I'm at the sink and I'm going to be having my daughter, looks like the relaxer did it. So I'm gonna have her go ahead and get me rinsed out. And I don't know if I mentioned the products, but anyway, I hate this neutralizing shampoo by Silk Elements, so I would recommend the one for Motions or the one by Elasta QP. That's a really good stop action neutralizing shampoo. You go in first, you just continue to wash it out however many times it takes for it to go light. And then after that, you go in with a very mild shampoo, and then you want to do a nice conditioner. I don't usually do deep conditioner on relaxer day, but I always make sure to follow up with a really good wash and condition, deep condition in about 7 days after my relaxer. It'll bring back the life to your hair. So 5 to 7 days is good for regular shampoo. So we're gonna go ahead and get me washed up right now. You wanna start out by using pretty cool water, as cool as you can take, because it just soothes your scalp and it makes sure that you don't get any type of scabbing or red irritation or anything. So we're gonna start by doing that, guys.
I wish the water power, you know what I mean, would be real hard.
Yeah.
Wow, he does look loud.
I'm using this pitcher to rinse it out more adequately.
Thoroughly. You can say that.
Thoroughly.
The higher that you hold it up, it's going to be like rinsing it real deep. Yeah.
I always like to keep a pitcher handy with the water in there.
You want to still repeat? The back left, like right where you're at, but over towards the ear. Up a little bit towards the inside. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, gosh. Still working on it? No cake?
I don't think so, no. Okay, so now we're going to go in with this Dove Nutritive Solutions Intense Repair shampoo to restore the pH and the moisture in the hair. So, and you know it's time to go in with this when the neutralizing shampoo is no longer pink. And that means that there's no more relaxer in there. Okay guys, so now at this point, I'm going to be going in with just a regular conditioner, okay? And I'm just going to kind of pat it through. I'm going to hop in the shower, come back up, and finish up with the curls. So right now I take a large amount of conditioner, not huge, but just a nice decent amount. Kind of spread it on both hands. Get it around those edges really good, and then work all to the ends. Okay. And you can just, this, I know it sounds unbelievable, but you know, stuff like Dove or Head and Shoulder. I don't use Head and Shoulder on Relaxer Day because this has a stimulant in there, but get your hair so healthy and get your hair growing and all that, because it's just really good to have a healthy scalp is what really makes your hair. Makes it or breaks it. So anyway, I got some tangles in here. So I'm going to use a shower comb and I'm going to go from the ends on up. And then I'm going to come back after I hop out of the shower and let this sit in while I'm showering. And I'm going to go ahead and get those curls in there for you guys, alright? Okay guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and begin to style my hair. I don't know if I had mentioned it earlier, but what I'm thinking I want to do is some real curly curls, but I'm not looking for a Shirley Temple style of a curl. But I'm just going to make it really curly, and I'm going to show you guys how I personally achieve curls when I don't want them to be spiral coming down like that. I just want them to be really super curly. So I'm going to show you guys how I actually you know, go to curl it. And today I'm going to use a 3/4 barrel curling iron. So not too small, not too big. It's just the right size for what the curls that I'm trying to achieve, how I'm going to need those. And I'm just kind of adjusting my mirror. And so after your hair is completely air dried, then at that point it is the point where I want to go ahead in and blow dry it. But before I do, and it may seem like it doesn't make sense to you guys, like, well, why wouldn't you just blow dry it wet or do these steps while it's wet or whatever. I have no idea why this method of blow drying my hair just makes it more manageable and it looks healthier and stuff, but I have to bring it, and you guys can try it for yourself, but just go ahead and bring your hair to a complete air dry. Then after that, you want, I love this one here. Let me see if I could get that to focus. It is a foaming type of a mousse. And it's actually by Bronner Brothers. I believe that's the BB. And it also says wrapping lotion so that you guys can find it. And what it does is make your hair really bouncy and it adds on shine. But I don't like to put it in while it's wet. So I will, and it could be a little bit damp but not just soaking wet. So anyway, I like to add some of that into my hand. And I'll start about with 4 pumps or so. And then I'll just kind of take it and rub it together a little bit and just pat it through. Trying to get it in there evenly. And I don't know where you guys would say that you feel like you have a, you know, problem spot, but it's like to us, you look at the next person and it seems like their hair is like so perfect and no problem spots, but I'm willing to bet everybody has one, whether it be their edges or their crown or the side. It's always an area, but for me, like I showed you guys, it's my areas right here. Just always has been, you know, thinner. So anyway, I like to go in with the second amount and just really get it in there. And you know, as I think about it, and then I'll do a few more pumps, and then I want the perfect level of moisture without it being wet. And to be honest, the way that I'm fixing to blow dry my daughter's hair, one of my daughters, she has a sandy colored hair, and you know, when you have sandy colored hair, it works a little bit differently, just like they say type C and type whatever. Well, anyway, hers is definitely a little bit different to work with. But when I blow dry her hair, like if she's been going a few days and a shampoo day was a week ago to freshen up, this is actually the method that I use. And it gets her hair just as silky and pretty as it want to be. And so then anyway, I just kind of brush through with that in there. And then I just make sure that it's a little bit damp without it being wet. Anyway, you just brush through to make sure it's spreading out very evenly. And then after I brush it through, now I'll go in with a blow dryer, and at this time I want the heat to be on about warm, and then I'm going to do it on high heat. Also, as I blow dry, I'm going to be using a paddle brush. I'm not going to use a comb. I'm not going to use the comb that goes in the dryer. Just a paddle brush at this point. Okay, so I'll turn the dryer off. Now, as you guys can already begin to tell how much it already has smoothed out the hair just by following those steps, okay? And I feel like a lot of times when you go in and you blow dry your hair directly after washing it or relaxing and so on and so forth, if you was to just go into your hair, one thing is that it takes longer to get it dry. So, excuse me, therefore that is more heat that you're subjecting your hair to. And what I will use is a little pink oil moisturizer instead of the one that I just showed you guys, because I thought it was a different cream that I actually have upstairs. But needless to say, I want to go about a dollar size amount in my hand, and then I rub my hands together thoroughly, and I promise you guys, it feels like I'm telling you guys something about blow drying your hair. And when I was telling my daughter like how and the steps I was going to take on the video, she said, well, everybody knows how to blow dry their hair. And I said, that's true, but there is different methods of blow drying the hair that you can definitely use to make your hair come out way better, more silky, and not pull it out. Because as I was explaining earlier, when your hair is soaking wet, beyond it just taking so much longer to get it dry, as opposed to hair blow drying it or air drying it, you also are running the risk of pulling on that hair when it is wet. Something else, when your hair is wet or fresh out of the shower, I do not recommend ever using this kind of cream or anything in the hair, because it just makes it slip right on out. And if you guys can remember, like back in the day when people would use baby oil in their kids' hair, like people of color that I know, and then we'd put it in our baby's hair. And then you look up, and the next thing you know, the baby has a bald patch in their hair. And it would always be back here. The reason why that would happen is because the baby's hair was slipping right on out. The hair follicle, when they rubbing their head, trying to, move and crying and stuff, they're rubbing their hair out, and the baby oil just allows it to slip out of the follicles. So take it easy with, greasing the scalp. Just kind of try to keep your hair clean. And so anyway, now that I have that in, you guys can see that it looks a little bit like damp-ish, but it's not soaking wet or anything. So now we're gonna go back in with the blow dryer, and we're gonna keep it at a warm setting or a medium setting, and we're gonna turn it up on high and just go ahead and blow dry this next step. It has to be step by step, but blow dry this into it. Okay, so anyway, as you guys can see, it's getting the moisture back. Now, even more, because we have definitely went in with the cream. And there's one I like even better than this. It's in a yellow bottle, and I think it's called American Pride maybe, but it's just a hair cream, so a dressing, like a hair dressing type of a cream, and I like to use that as well. But right now my hair is just really getting so soft and silky, and that's what we want. Now typically a regular blow dry, it would take about, we're gonna say 30 minutes or something. Sometime if your hair is really thick, like my thickest area is in the back of my head, so it could really take a long time. And like I said, when I will go ahead and trim it is the next time when I do a straight style. I do not advise heat on a daily basis, but it is safe about you know, once a week or something like that. It's very much safe. But just take the precautions, you know, of just not sitting there and drying it forever and ever and ever. If you guys take these steps to blow drying your hair, as with my daughter, it can revive the hair. You're just putting some moisture back into it. So the last step that we're going to actually take is I'm going to go in with alcohol-free hairspray. I like this particularly, it's by Elastic QP. I also like the one by Olive Oil. All of them need to be what is called alcohol-free, but anyway, I like this one. And what I like to do with this one is the Reflect Sheen Spray by Elastic QP. What I like to do is go ahead and take my hair and give it a lift and just go ever so lightly into the scalp. And kind of go over there, get in that scalp a little bit more, because that's about all you need in your scalp. Okay, so now I'm going to take some spray. Now I'm going to tackle the ends, because you don't want the ends too greasy. And that may even be too much grease on that side, but anyway, yeah, you just kind of want to work it through, work it through, work it through. Get through. And then you want to go back in with your hair dryer. Get your blow dryer ready. Right now, I'm going to turn it actually to high heat. And then I'm also going to turn it on high. I'm only going to blow dry it for probably about less than a minute. We're going to say 45 seconds, okay? Because what this does is really get that moisture to penetrate into your hair for shininess without weighing it down, okay? So let's do that. Okay, so at that time, we're going to go ahead and be done with the blow dryer. And it's kind of hot in here, so I'm kind of have to pat my head. I don't know what the heat is on. It must be on hell tonight. But needless to say, we are done with the hair dryer. So anyway, somebody's going to have to unplug it for me. So now what I like to do is just kind of give it a comb through. And see how much more silky it is. Even the ends look better, although yes, they need a trim. But yeah, it just all looks so better. No tangles, nothing. Okay, it's a lot healthier and richer and shinier if you use that method. But I can't force it on y'all. But try it, and when you do, let me know in the comments. So then the first thing that I like to do is get some sections on my hair, to where it makes kind of curling it a little bit easier, okay? So I'm not looking to have a defined part or anything, so I'm just going to kind of have it side to side, and then I'm going to part off the back. Actually a little bit more of the larger section, kind of pull that behind the ears. And you could use a rubber band if you don't have a banana clip, but go ahead and get that sectioned off a little bit. You don't want to have all of those crimps in there, So when you kind of section it off, just loosely let it be in those sections, okay? So that it's not getting in your way, because when you're curling your hair, and especially extra curls, extra tight ones, you know, it's just easier to get those crimps in your hair if you put them too tight. So anyway, just kind of pull it away like that. Just clip, some little clips, duckbills. Okay, so what I like to do as far as the curls, I like to take, after I have that little part in the back sectioned, so it doesn't mix in, and I take a piece that's about that big, if you guys can see that, and then I just kind of begin to curl. Now, as I curl, I'm not looking for a Shirley Temple type curl. So what I do is, as I begin to fold it over, I take the back and I just pull it where it's going to go straight under the other part of the hair, under the top. See, instead of it being all across the curling iron, it's just one area that is going to be in there. It gives just tighter curls that last better. And then, like I said, they're different than putting a Shirley Temple curl in there. So we'll go ahead and curl that section, and then I'll come back and finish up for you guys. See, can you guys see that curl, how pretty that is? Okay, now we just move on and on. So now we got the top half of that section, and we're probably not going to clip it off or anything, I guess, as long as it'll stay in place. So we'll see. And so what I'm going to do is feel around to make sure that we're just kind of keeping it little sections at a time. Pull that out, and that's not too big. It looks huge, but anyway, it's okay. So anyway, we're going to take it, put it in there real good. There we go. And as we put it in there, remember guys, just hold that hair, pull it up to where it stays in there. And I hope this is all making sense. It makes sense like the outcome, but I don't know. And I hope this video will come in handy, because I know that a lot of people are not getting their hair done, you know, recently. So anyway, like do it yourself, do it at home. Now, how I'm going to keep the curls in place, I'll probably use a bonnet. I don't use a scarf, because obviously that will smash it down. And who wants to smash out their pretty curls so you guys can kind of see? Bouncy and pretty. Alright, so, oh, I got a loose one, finally, a loose fingernail 4 weeks later, but, so, yeah, as you guys can see, those curls are gorgeous. Could even leave them like that if you want, but I'm gonna kind of bounce them up. And so, because I don't want to snag a curl, so I'm not gonna start here, I'm actually gonna start in the front with the rat tail comb. And I'm just going to go ahead and going backwards, and I'm going to lift. See? And if I was to go too far, you see that curl moving, so then we don't want to do that. We just want to go ahead and hold on to it. Just take your time. This is not one of those hairstyles that's like done in 5 minutes, 60 seconds, whatever. You know? So anyway, then just kind of corner that out, clip it, and then begin another section, a subsequent section to where you were already working at. So then here it's curled, y'all. So I just kind of take a little bit of, I like the gel. And what I do when it comes to gel is I add a little bit of water in it, about that much. And then I stir it because for some reason, odd reason, it just makes it not get lumpy, which I kind of understand why, but then also it just keeps it from getting all flaky in your hair. I do not know why. And then I just kind of take that back a little bit, brush out that little bit of baby hair, and no, I'm not gonna try to attempt to curl that. So I can burn myself. But anyway, I just like to get it kind of tamed in there and just have a little bit of the excess hair, just kind of brush that down. And then what I like to do from here, see how beautiful the curls are? And just have them really bouncy. No kind of hairspray. Do not use hairspray on them. And then just take the end of your comb like this and just start fluffing up your curls a little bit. Go hold your hair up and then take them down a little bit by a little bit. And open them up. The prettiest curls. Oh, they're pretty, aren't they? Hope you guys enjoy it and feel the same. Anyway, I just kind of open up the curls. I don't like them real uniform, so I just kind of spread them out. And no, this is not a short process or anything, but you know, anybody can achieve it. Just take your time, give you guys something to do. Well, guys, that's it for today. I want to thank you guys for watching, and do me a big favor. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. God bless.